Alrighty. Hello everyone, welcome to the third installation of the Agent Breakdown series we're doing on the channel here. I'm Hephaestrohoff. Today we're going to be doing Phoenix. Phoenix as an agent is one of the first 5 that you get with the game baseline. Everyone has him. He is one of the more popular agents that you're going to see when you're playing the game, and it's really important to know
settle down, I got this.
both
And
what
I'm
his
not leaving
abilities
until we're done out here, yeah?
can do, how much they cost, and what they look like from both ends. So starting off, we have, you can see his signature ability, which is his E. It's called his Hot Hand. It's a little fireball that you're going to throw out. I'll demonstrate that in a second. But then we're going to go over these real quick first. So his C ability is called Blaze. It's his little wall that he puts up. His Q ability is called Curveball, which if you look at it when I bring it up, gives you 2 directions to throw left or right. Now these each cost 200, so you're able to, if you only get 1 curveball, full buy with light shields, or save 200 creds and full buy all your abilities first round. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and look at curveball. And I'm going to show you an example of throwing it behind a wall so you can see what it looks like. And then when I have my friend over here, Fish in a Suit, come to a point, I'm going to show you what it looks like to get flashed as well. And I'm going to show you the indicator of what it looks like to flash someone. So you can hear him coming up ropes. So real quick, just to show you a basis of what the ability looks like, right-clicking against this wall is going to throw it out and around like that. Now you saw it explode, but you didn't see the effects of it quite yet. So I'm going to have you stand right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the curveball around so that it hits Fish in the Suit, and then I'm going to come around so you guys can see the blinded indicator that it gives him. See how his eyes were glowing white? That indicates that he's blinded in that moment. So go ahead and blind me around the corner, and we're going to, or I guess I can just look at you, and we're going to see what it looks like to be blinded by a Phoenix's curveball. See, takes up your whole screen, makes it impossible to see anything else. One of the best sieging tools that's in the game because of how quickly it goes off. One of the things that a lot of people really undervalue is the time between deploying a siege ability and the time of getting in. So anytime you're around tight corners like this, Phoenix's siege is going to be better than, you know, Breach's ultimate, for example, because of the charge up time. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the kill here, and I'm going to give him the defuse so that we can go ahead and show ultimates as well. Next round, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Phoenix's wall ability. And that's going to be pretty easy to demonstrate because Phoenix's wall is looks the same on both sides. It just has different effects if you happen to
There can only be one Phoenix. I'm coming for you.
Alright, so this round I'm going to get this ult point, the plant, and the kill to get 3 ultimate charges. And I'm going to have my assistant get the ultimate point on B.
Let me show you how the boss does.
Come this way for the defuse so we can get ultimates and talk about those next round. Alright, so Phoenix's wall is very comparable to Viper's wall in the game in the sense that they're both very skinny looking when looking at them head on. And then when looking at them from the side, they basically are completely opaque, just like Sage Wall, except for the fact that they're not an obstacle. You can walk through them. Phoenix's wall specifically deals damage to the player, as opposed to Viper's wall, which just makes their health decay down a little bit and then revives up when the player leaves the wall. So you can see the indicator hovering over Phoenix's C ability right here. That's just going to throw the wall completely straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Fish throw the wall at me from his perspective, and it's just going to go completely straight at me. Or no, okay. I'm going to throw the wall. Worth noting, if I were to just throw it right here, it would be a completely straight line. So what I'm going to try and do is, in order to curve the wall left or right, when you throw out the wall, you just need to whip your camera to the left or to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and whip it left as soon as I throw it.
30 seconds left.
Alright, so I didn't do it fast enough. I do have a pretty low sensitivity. Higher sensitivities, it's a little bit easier to do. Now you're going to notice here, when I was standing in it, there was a little healing thing that popped up down below my health. That's because Phoenix's abilities will heal
10 seconds
only
left.
him. They will damage enemies and they will damage allies. But if your Phoenix stands in his own abilities, it will heal him. So go ahead and shoot me once real quick so I can get a little bit lower health. You're going to notice that I throw this down. If he steps in it, it'll hurt him. And if I step in it, it heals me. You can only see 3 points there. But that's going to be for all of Phoenix's abilities. Now, there's only two that you can be healed off of, which are the wall and the curveball. You can't get any healing off of, the wall and hot hands. You can't get any healing off of curveball because it's just a blind. It's a sieging tool. It doesn't actually stay out and give you the opportunity to do so. And so this round, I'm going to try to curve the wall again. It's a little bit harder because I am on such a low sensitivity. But then we're going to look at Phoenix's ultimate and explain what makes it so good and why it is so popular. Exactly. Great example. This is what a curved wall will look like on a higher sensitivity. You can see he threw it here, and he looked left really quick, and it curved off to the left. Now, that damaged me as I walked through it, but it would have healed him if he would have stood in it. So go ahead and shoot me a few more times. Alright. So, there's two modes with Phoenix's Hot Hands ability. The left click, which you saw earlier, is just a typical projectile. I'll go ahead and have him throw it just as a regular left click. See, it's got a very good distance on it. You can use it sort of like a brimstone molly, a zoning tool to clear out a certain area or keep it clear for a minute. You can put it down on spikes so that they can't stand on it right away. But let's say you're backed into this corner and you want to make sure it stays right underneath you without having anything get in the way of having it bounce away from exactly where you're at. If you right click, you sort of just dribble it out of your hand down on the ground. And it's very similar to Raze's grenade in how it gets thrown.
30
it just kind of, you know, falls out of your hand and stays exactly where you want it. So we're going to go ahead and look at Phoenix's ult real quick. I'm going to use mine first so you can see what it looks like on the inside, and then I'll get the plant and I'll have Fish use his. So when you use Phoenix's ult, immediately you leave a little fire spot behind. That's where you're going to teleport back to. Oh, okay, I got plants off in time. That's okay. So this is where you teleport back to. Now, notably, that is visible to people on both sides of, you know, attackers and defenders. So if somebody happens to see your fire spot,
This is crazy.
what they're going to do if they don't have view of your body that you're ultimating is they're going to wait on your fire spot for you to teleport back, because Phoenix's ultimate is on a timer. You know, just like a baseline timer. And they're going to have the jump on you, because when you teleport back, you saw that little animation where he does the little collar flick. You don't have access to your gun, nor do you have access to movement or any of your other abilities. So people can just camp on your fire spot, wait for you to teleport back to it. Now, notably, Phoenix also teleports back to the fire spot if he dies in his ultimate. So what we're going to see here is we're going to have Fish use his ultimate, maybe just, you know, run around for a second.
Joke's over. You're
This is
dead.
what it looks like. He has a little, you know, fiery aura about him. And so if I happen to turn this corner, oh, I see that his fire spot's here. As soon as he comes back, he can't interact with me. That whole time he didn't have access to moving. He just played the animation on his screen, and the next thing he knew, I was behind him and he died. So
Someone get the spike.
let's take a look real quick. This will be the last round that we do to show what an average round might look like for a Phoenix player. So we're going A. I don't have Spike because I'm just going to demonstrate how you would use some of your abilities. In this case, I'll have an operator. So let's say we know heaven is clear. We don't know if this A long alley is clear or not. We have two options here. One, we can blind it and try and siege around it. That was a bad example because I blinded myself. Let me do it better this time. You can throw the curveball, have it go off, have a blinded enemy you can try and siege. So he didn't see me this whole time, but when I turned the corner, I had that advantage on him. If I'm communicating well with my team, they can also come around. We can gun him down real quick. Now let's say we've cleared this using our curveballs. We know that ramp is clear, but we don't know about heaven. One way we can try and get our team in, throw Phoenix's wall down. Now they don't have any view of us. All of heaven is blocked off up until this point. They're free running, exactly, not knowing where we are. So in that time, if we don't clear out heaven, we could have moved onto point, gotten an advantage here. So let's say we get plant down. We don't here because I left spike in base. If we get plant down here, and Phoenix is coming from his spawn, for example. Now, let's say I have somebody posted up watching heaven. We've already cleared out this way. We know nobody's flanking us, but we know that Phoenix is for some reason coming around this way. Let's say I'm watching heaven. One good way that I can cover my flank, throw the fire down there so that he has to, you know, work around the fire or take damage while I can scope out heaven. Now, it doesn't last too
10
long,
seconds left.
but it will cut off this angle for enough seconds that they can't push through it, and you know that you're safe from this angle for just a few seconds. Another good trick that I've seen Fish do is when the defuse timer, which takes 8 seconds, is getting close to enter like the safe zone where you can start running away because you know that the explosion is going to go off. Let's say about 10 seconds. You can whip out your hot hands, throw it down on the spike, and then if they try to go for the defuse and beat the 8-second timer, they're going to have to stand on your hot hands and take lethal damage because it does deal damage so quickly. So I thought that was going to be the last round, but I lied. I'm going to go ahead and throw a hot hands at Fish's feet just so you can see how quick the kill is. Alright.
Careful now.
Yeah. Wasn't even close to being enough time for a defuse. It was about 2 seconds to kill. So hot hands is a very strong ability. It recharges. You never have to purchase it. Every 2 plant kills that you get will give you another charge. You can see the 2 X's down at the bottom above the ability. So once you use it once, oh, I can't use it right now during buy phase. I'll use it in 10 seconds to show you how it consumes it. If you were to get 2 kills and or a plant, you know, instead of one of those kills, you'll actually get your E ability back up. It's just like Jet's E ability as well. It recharges, but it's not on a timer. It's on a knockout or a plant basis. All right, so that's pretty much the basics for Phoenix. The biggest thing I wanted to cover was how his wall and his hot hands abilities are very good, and that they heal you. You can see that I even retain vision if I don't go too far in, just by barely touching and getting the healing aura. One of the things that the Valorant client doesn't explain to you directly is that Phoenix's abilities will heal himself only. I've seen a lot of people throw hot hands underneath allies trying to heal them. I've seen a lot of people hold on to their abilities when they're very low on health. You need to use these to your advantage. You need to be able to get your health back up so you can remain relevant in fights. That's it for this Phoenix video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.